Hello everyone, welcome to this part. We were talking about the village courts procedure where we have seen that within the ordinary procedure of the court there is a mechanism for alternative dispute resolution which shall be settled within 30 days duration, and if not settled then the parties and the village court will start the proceedings under the regular procedural framework, and in the regular procedural framework they will be taking total 90 days. However, if it is not possible to settle in 90 days, they'll take another 30 days with proper reasoning. uh, if it is not possible to settle the dispute within the overall time prescribed, the village court shall be dissolved accordingly, and parties then will go for competent court within next 60 days. Competent court means in civil nature, usually they will go to civil court. If it's in criminal nature, they will go to magistrates courts, maybe filing a CR case or a GR case through police station. Usually, in the decision of the village court, as there are five members, the decision of the village court shall be unanimous, which is a very challenging issue, or it shall be 4-1. It cannot be just simple majority. So there are two ways. Three ways. One is unanimous, then 4-1, and that is also acceptable. But there can be a situation where all the members are not available. Let's say four members are presiding. In that situation, these four members, out of these four members, the ratio will be 3:1. So that is also acceptable. But if it is out of 5, 3:2, the decision is not acceptable. If it is out of 4, 2:2, then certainly it is not. The village court basically formalized the traditional chalice system within the positive legal framework. In this process, it reformed traditional chalice by adding women representation, which is one of the praising addition in the village court. As we see in the informal chalice system, women had a very vulnerable position and condition. That is why it is quite appreciating if we find the same in the village court. Then it will be quite wonderful. So in the process, it reformed traditional chalice system by adding women representation. This has been incorporated under the revised law in 2013, adding a mandatory provision of inclusion of a woman member by the parties in forming five-member judges panel if. Now, this is what is important, that women representation is not in all circumstance. Rather, women representation is needed uh, with respect to Schedule 1 if the interest of the minor is involved, uh, and if the woman's interest is involved with respect to Schedule both 1 and 2. So then a women representation will be there. Schedule 2 talks about civil issues. Schedule 1 focuses on criminal matters. So there is a mandatory provision is included that when a disputed matter is involved a minor with respect to Schedule 1, or with respect to women when the disputed issues are related to Schedule both 1 and 2, then a women representation is mandatory. The jurisdiction of the village court shall be ascertained on the basis of where offences are committed and cause of action is arising. A village court has the characteristics of both formal and informal court. A village court can help to bridge between Bangladesh's informal and formal justice institution in providing a fair arbitration process leading to delivering justice and human security. The far greater objectives of the village court was to allow poor villagers in getting access to justice without any cost, as well as erupting unwanted arbitrary decisions of the dominant elite classes in the Shalish mechanism. In spite of all its credits and contributions, this has been alleged that widespread corruption by the local government representatives and also looking after the interest of the powerful curbed the fairness of the said process. So these are criticisms. Now, what are the situations practically might happen? Number one is that the influential party will try to influence the UP chairman and other members so that the decision goes in his favor. Number two, there can be arbitrary, I mean, there, see, a woman representation has been guaranteed. But let's say on the issue of a minor, all four members, other four members are on one side and the women representation is on the other side. Maybe she is looking at the interest of the women or minor, but other four is looking at the different interest. Now it says that 4:1, if the support of the judges are reflect like that, then the decision is valid or the findings is valid. So in spite of giving a women representation, it doesn't actually helping in that sense. So that is one very critical point. Otherwise, of course, at least it has formed a group of people. It says that uniform or 4:1 will be the factors, will be the supporting, criteria for the dispute, for the settlement. But if you look at comparing with the traditional shalish, where there is no such written laws and norms, the elites and the madbars can do anything and everything with the help of the powerful muscles through the shalish mechanism. So from that line of argument, I think village court is a useful tool. But after all, there are following questions which we cannot escape. Number one, are judges in the village court legally, technically capable to try disputes? Number two, are there any conflict with state structure? For example, executive versus judiciary. So local government is part of the executive. Number three, with the inclusion of political party-based election, because if you look at the local government election, it is basically the political parties who form, who provocates the election, and or who actually uh, conducts the election on the basis of their emblem or symbol. So this was not the case earlier. Now, with direct political engagement in the local government, it creates a problem. The issue of political impartiality in the court, in the village court, is genuinely questioned. Number four, how far the ratio of decision is acceptable, particularly in the context of ensuring impartiality and erupt biasness. So unanimous, I think, can only be the better solution, because as I mentioned and give an example about how, in spite of reserving a woman in the board, her presence is not useful. Uh, I mentioned it. So these are some of the issues I think we need more discussions. But the important part is that village court is a reflection of traditional shalish. At the same time, secondly, within the village court, it also provides ADR mechanisms. So thank you very much.